but there's also, I put on my metrics glasses, all my analytics glasses for all those nerds out there.
Thomas Bryant jockstrap, get him out of here!
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Donald, get back! They snatched that chain, boy. Get back! What y'all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back! We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1. Get back!
Hey everybody, welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, and Rob Watson coming at you today. Happy New Year's Eve. Whether you watch us for 1 second, 1 minute, or the whole show, God bless your soul. We appreciate it. We hope everybody has a wonderful and safe holiday, and we're ready to ring in the new year. We got a show to do. And with that, it is my pleasure to bring in our guest today, Hannah Williford, Big Ten Network sideline reporter. Hannah, we know the big topic today is the Cotton Bowl between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Miami Hurricanes. I'll lob you an easy one to start off. Just tell me the vibes. Are you nervous for this one, or you think the Buckeyes got this one covered?
I'm feeling good. I think the Buckeyes have this one covered. I'm here in Dallas, got my Cotton Bowl hat on, ready to roll. I think the Buckeyes have this one. I'm going score prediction 27-13.
27-30. I think should we hit ours now, or do you guys want to just go with it right away? Should we hit ours?
I mean, that's great for the parlay. I guess we could get to that.
Yeah, let's do it. Rob, go for it.
Buckeyes 35, Miami 14.
I'm going. Hannah, what did I say? I was close to yours.
You were close. You were like 24 something.
24-10.
24-13, I think I said. 24-13 Ohio State. I think the first half is closer than people think it'll be. Ryan?
I'm going to go. I don't think this one's close. I think Carson Beck throws 3 picks, throws one late. That seals the deal. I'll go Ohio State. They win this one 28-13.
The sloth.
So, Hannah,
We're pretty
Ryan.
close on ours, too, yeah.
Ryan said he was going to give you a little layup to start. So you know I got to come in with the fastball now, right? Carson Beck, Ryan just predicted 3 interceptions tonight, right? You were unaware of some of Carson Beck's digital footprint. I think
we're starting there.
Oh, well, I think it's the best place to start. You got to get inside the psyche of the quarterback.
She didn't know?
No, she wasn't aware. That's why we had to get into it. I think you saw it on Barstool Ohio State, I believe. Well, what is your newfound opinion of Carson Beck / where does your confidence in the Buckeyes defense lie after knowing the information you now know about Carson Beck?
Okay, yeah, I did not know he was so active on Snapchat. He's got to get off Snapchat. It's Barstool Ohio State posted clips of everything he's been saying to people, and I was telling Jack, I'm like, I did not know that he was like this. So I think it's a little embarrassing. If that was your QB, Julian saying would never.
He would never.
He would never. He's just not that kind of guy.
Hashtag just saying.
He's definitely a girlfriend guy. This
Julian
strikes me.
Julian Sane is like a nice, like, he's going to go to the pumpkin patch. He's going to go get the apple cider, and he's going to take that nice picture. Yes, you know, like the one that goes.
Yes, he's going to wear like matching PJs.
Exactly.
The one that like goes direct from the camera roll right into Instagram immediately. Yeah. He's a good dude. Good dude, Julian.
He's a wholesome guy. You wouldn't catch him doing those things. No,
absolutely not. There's no chance. And speaking of Julian in that offense, Hannah, like obviously a super impressive season with all 3 of those receivers. I know you're a big Brandon Ennis fan, right? Like, I mean, not everyone nationally knows him as much as the other 2. What are your thoughts on Brandon Ennis?
Brandon Ennis is just honestly a great guy in general. I will say after the Big Ten championship, Brandon Ennis was one of the guys that was chosen to come in and talk to the media. And some of those guys were obviously pretty upset with the loss, but Ennis owned it. He was like, this was the offense's fault. We have some things we need to fix. We're going to come back stronger. Just had a really positive spin on it. So I like him not only as a player, but I really like him as a leader for the Buckeyes and just his positive mindset.
So let me ask you about that part of your job too as a reporter. And so Rob, it was a follow-up question. It was pertinent. I apologize.
Uncas went 3 in a row.
Yeah, no, I did go. That's not, I'm going to mute myself after this. Don't worry. So as a reporter, it's like me, like I can't even like if I need my little brother to move his car, I can't even ask him. Like, for you? How do you handle like going into a locker room or a media like press conference setting and asking questions after a loss? Like, for you, is it pretty normal now? Like, can you just go in and fire off whatever? Like, can you take the emotion out of it?
You know, I think it's all about the delivery, and making sure you're not just like, you lost, how does it feel? You know, you want it to be
Yeah.
an actual question and kind of point it towards moving forward in the future, which was really easy to do after that loss to Indiana, because there was still a lot to play for and a lot to work for moving forward. So I think it's just all about how you frame it. But it was definitely a little intimidating with how upset some of the guys were to get up there and ask questions. So even still, it's like you just want to be careful and not kick them while they're down with certain questions.
All right, Hannah, let's get to it, okay? Now Jackson done
Okay.
hogging the mic, okay? Let's get back. That Big Ten championship losses, it shook some things up in Ohio State, all right? Ryan Day, he's made it a point. He came out and he said, I'm going to have much more say in the play calling going forward to the playoffs. What can you tell us about that? What could you expect from Ryan Day saying he's going to start putting his foot down a little more?
I think that was a great move on Ryan Day's part. I went to the press conference less than 24 hours after they lost to Indiana, and Ryan Day was like, yeah, Brian Hartline called the offense and he's going to keep calling the offense. And then clearly in the weeks, you know, to follow that game, things changed. And I think they needed to. I think everyone's excited for Brian Hartline, and, you know, he took this head coaching job and that's a great step in his career, but I just don't think his head was in the right space heading into that game against Indiana, and it clearly showed on the field. So I think it was a good move by Ryan Day to kind of take the reins on that. And, you know, he's saying it's still going to be a group effort, but he's going to have the final say, and Hartline's going to stick with the wide receivers more, which he's great at. So I think it's a good move, and I think things are going to look a lot different tonight than they did on December 6th against Indiana.
Hannah, speaking of Brian Hartline, obviously hasn't totally been removed from Ohio State yet, but him accepting that job at South Florida, do you think that's been a distraction at all? And how have the players handled that news since they found out?
The players have actually been so supportive of him and really happy for him. I think that they have such a great bond with him. I mean, Julian said how happy he was for him, Jeremiah Smith, you know. And the thing about Hartline is he's a Buckeye, so he wants to see this through to the end. And I don't think he's, you know, by any means kicking this to the side. Like, the outcome of this season matters a lot to him for Ohio State. With that being said, I just think it was really tough timing. He got that head coaching job like the week of the Big Ten championship. He was on a plane to South Florida after the Big Ten championship and, you know, really announced as the coach that Sunday. So I think the timing was just brutal, but I definitely think he's going to see this through to the end and be involved. But of course, he can't be as involved as he was because he's a head coach now. He has huge responsibilities. But I will say the players and Ryan Day, they've said they're not using that as an excuse at all. And they are really happy for him. So I think that the way he wants to finish it out, you have to give him respect for that.
So, Hannah, I know you haven't gotten the full Dallas experience yet. You just got down there. Still got the game to play. You still got the week ahead of you. You went last year. You were at the Rose Bowl last year and the National Championship, correct? Are those the two bowl games you traveled to?
Yes.
Okay,
yep,
so like early vibes, anticipations, how would you rank the three?
Oh my gosh, I just don't think you can beat the Rose Bowl. It was the coolest
Granddaddy of them all.
experience. But I haven't even been to the Cotton Bowl yet, so I'll see if this beats it. But the views from the press box at the Rose Bowl, you could see the mountains just everywhere. It was so beautiful. It was just, we had the perfect weather. I heard it's supposed to rain the whole time this year, so I'm happy that I got to go last year and it was beautiful. So Rose Bowl was amazing.
Have you been to Dallas before?
What'd you say?
Have you been to Dallas before?
I've been to Dallas. I've been once before. I haven't really gotten to explore since I've been here. I was just hanging at the hotel with all the other media last night, but tonight, hopefully after the game, I'll be able to go to Texas Live. Shaq is DJing, so that'll be my Texas experience.
Yeah, that's dope. I saw we actually had kind of cool in Cleveland. I think it was 2 years ago. The Guardians, like they started out really, really hot and they went on like a terrible losing streak. And then they had Shaq like DJ after a game. And obviously Shaq is like not at all like aware of the MLB standings. And we went on like a really bad tear. And Shaq gets up there, like the whole team is behind him. And he's like, Cleveland, I'm not going to be back here until we go to the World Series this year. Then everyone's just like ballistic, and they went on like a 10-game win streak. Went to the playoffs. It's the coolest thing ever. So Shaq, big Ohio guy. So maybe it'll be good vibes for the Buckeyes.
Yes, I love Shaq. I think he's like a top person I would want to interview. So
how could you not?
Maybe
Big
I'll try to make that
Aristotle.
happen.
Hannah, let's talk about the guy under center for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that's Julian Sayin. Last year's Ohio State team was led by a guy in Will Howard who had plenty of college starts under his belt, transferring from Kansas State. You know, deep in these meaningful games, when it's win or go home, you want kind of a guy who's not necessarily have to have been in that moment, but understands the levity of these games, right? What have you seen from the demeanor of a guy, of a freshman like Julian Sayin? What are your expectations for him?
You know, I will say he's probably the most like cool, calm, and collected player I've ever been around. And he does not seem like a freshman. He is it really seems like nothing rattles him. I will also say, you mentioned Will Howard, and Julian was saying in one of the press conferences leading up to tonight, he said that he really looked up to Will Howard and kind of used his game style, you know, as motivation and was inspired by him. Will Howard, obviously, like you said, had those games under his belt, but I think that the Indiana game was the best thing that could have happened to Julian. I mean, he was sacked 5 times, and it was definitely, he was tested. And I think that he's had a few weeks to respond and adjust. And I think that was needed before they enter the playoffs. A game like that, I think, was really needed. So, but his demeanor is great. Cool, calm, collected, steady, doesn't seem rattled by much. And, you know, the players have said he's really stepped up into that leadership role for being so young, but you have to when you're running the offense. But even Brandon Inniss credited him. He's like, we fully know like he's got control of the offense and we trust him in that role.
So Hannah, big thing for the Buckeyes right now is you got that it was December 6th all the way until December 31st. So I'm not very good at math. That's a nice like cool 22, 23 days off. Do you think that the break's going to hurt the Buckeyes like it ended up doing for a lot of the teams last year? Or do you think the rest, like the mental flush after the Big Ten championship, was more needed?
Yeah, I know. Like we were talking, Jack, last year, all 4 teams that had that long layoff lost in the playoffs. But I will say, I think the Buckeyes needed this time, just given their situation, like we talked about with Brian Hartline. I think they needed a few weeks to really figure out their game plan and get things situated, because clearly it didn't work against Indiana with their offense and their red zone struggles and pass protection. And there were a lot of offensive issues. So I think they needed this time to really sort it out. Ryan Day said, you know, he's like, this is not just a bye week. We're considering this an extended layoff, and we're going to have a practice schedule and everything that keeps them super involved. And Julian even said, like, they've been practicing so hard. And he's like, there's no better defense for me to practice against than Ohio State's defense, because they are the best defense in the country and they're testing him every single day at practice. So I think they'll be good. I don't think that will have an impact on them.
Okay, so we've talked. I feel like we've talked about everything you really care about.
Yeah, that was good OSU football.
So Ohio State gets the W tonight. What are we doing for New Year's? Like, what's the rest of the night look like after the game? We got any plans?
Yeah, Shaq.
Shaq. We're gonna go see Shaq. We're gonna go see Shaq at Texas Live. He's next door. He's DJing. DJ Diesel, I think, is what he goes by. So. Does he have his own songs? I don't know. Or
no, he does not.
You're gonna get like a set.
To be totally forthright with you, Hannah, if I had to guess, I think he just pulls up SoundCloud and just kind of like does a couple of these and a couple of these.
Like people could like probably request, like if the crowd wants to hear a song, he could like he's probably got songs he mixes into
like,
each other. He's got like a plan. Like maybe there's a word that he can mix from one song to the next one. Probably.
Yeah.
Like,
he can hit a couple.
I bet
of those,
you he's solid. He's been DJing for a minute. Bro.
I'm sure he's at least as good as your run of the mill frat DJ. You know, like I'm sure he's got those guys beat out, the ones who have like the super nice sets. But Hannah, any New Year's like resolutions, traditions you have? Like I informed Ryan this morning, he was not aware that some people eat pork for New Year's Eve.
I didn't know that.
You didn't either?
I eat black-eyed peas and greens. It's supposed to be.
I heard people eat sauerkraut. Have you heard of that?
I've heard that.
I didn't know.
Never heard of sauerkraut.
I honestly don't know what like don't get me wrong, I know what sauerkraut is, but like I don't know what's in sauerkraut or what it tastes like.
There's maybe I'll try this this year. Have you heard of like girls are supposed to eat 12 grapes under the table and then you get a boyfriend in the new year? So maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, way to go.
I need some grapes when I'm at Shaq's set, and I'll go under the table and eat them.
I have heard that one. I've actually seen girls bring grapes to bars and do that. Hannah, I do have another question about the game.
Really?
Let's say, yes, Jack. Let's say 3 seconds left on the clock in the Cotton Bowl. Okay, Buckeyes are down 2 points. 40-yard field goal for Jaden Fielding. Are you feeling good? Is that thing going through the uprights?
Oh,
That's a good question. You know what? I'm going to say about Jaden is I still have faith in him. And, and so does Ryan Day and so does the team. I think everyone's going to be a little nervous. No matter who the kicker was, everyone would be nervous in that situation. I mean, we've seen it happen New Year's Eve a few years ago with Ohio State's kicker Noah Ruggles at the time. Buckeyes were playing Georgia and he missed the field goal at midnight. So, yeah. So you know what? I'm going to say I have full faith in Jaden Fielding tonight. He can do his job. He's so accurate. He has really his whole, I feel like, career has been defined by two crucial moments, that 13-10 loss to Michigan and then the 13-10 loss to Indiana. But aside from those moments, he's very accurate. And I think he's gonna shine tonight. I have faith in him.
All right, Hannah, before we kick you out of here, I think it's been established that 2 of my 3 biggest ops on the planet are Ryan Seacrest and Fernando Mendoza. And you are at least a fan or a real game recognized game of both of them as my propel goes tumbling down to the floors here.
I really
at
forgot
Burt
Ryan
Lakefront
Seacrest
Airport.
does the New Year's.
Yeah, no,
Eve
he does the New Year's.
I really
Yeah.
forgot.
So can you take me through, 1, why you're a Ryan Seacrest fan, and 2, do you think Fernando Mendoza has what it takes to beat the Buckeyes again if they match up?
How can you be a fan of Ryan Seacrest? What does he do?
Okay, I'm not like a diehard Ryan Seacrest fan. I'm just not a Ryan Seacrest hater.
Oh, okay.
But I used to watch American Idol growing up. That's really what I remember him from. But
Well,
I
is
don't feel-
Pants on the Ground the most
Wait, he
iconic
low-key
moment in
does
American
that?
Idol history?
Yes.
Yes,
He's
it
just
is.
a professional host. Is that what he does? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what he used to do on Idol
Yeah.
too, right?
Mhm.
He was
Yeah,
like
he
the
hosted on
backstage
Idol.
interviewer.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're a big Pants on the Ground fan too, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the greatest YouTube videos of all time.
Literally. Fernando Mendoza, I think I like his personality. I think he's like the nicest guy. I think, he deserved that Heisman win, but not going to beat the Buckeyes again. If it comes down to it in the Natty, it's not going to happen again.
Hannah, we appreciate you popping on the program again. Good to see you as always. Enjoy your time at the Cotton Bowl. Go Buckeyes as always, and have fun and have a safe and happy New Year's Eve.
Thank you so much. Go Bucks.
Don't
got
forget the
it.
grapes.
Go Bucks.
Yes, don't forget your grapes,
Grapes.
Hannah.
I need the grapes.
All right, thanks, Hannah. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we still have plenty of other games to talk about as the college football
And my doppelganger.
round 2 of the playoffs have to commence. Let's start there. Do a little bit of pick-ems. We all picked Ohio State, correct?
Yeah.
We all pick Bucks. It's in the parlay.
I'm kind of like
For when we get
never
to
mind. Never mind then. Never
Well, we
mind.
still got other games to go through. We'll start here. These ones are on New Year's Day. We start Thursday, 12 p.m. This is Oregon,
That's the
Texas
new. I was
Tech.
gonna say it better not be the noon
Oregon,
game.
Texas Tech is the noon game. That'll be our first one on New Year's Day. Oregon is a 2.5-point favorite in this one. If you want Texas Tech, money line is plus 114. Jack, the Red Raiders or the Oregon Ducks?
I mean, for all those people out there picking Oregon, not so fast, my friend Ryan. I know that I don't want to blow the show here. There's rumors that you're on it with me. Red Raiders money line. I don't think it's going to be it's so tough. I don't think either of these teams have an incredible run game. I think Texas Tech has a better defense. I think the question is if Baron Morton and the Red Raiders offense can score enough points. Like, this is going to be a lower scoring game. Most people think that. I think they're going to pull it out, Ryan. I think it's going to be like another 24-17 type game, but I think Texas Tech wins an ugly just slugfest.
Rob, you want to go before me?
I mean, I guess we're clean sweep, but I don't agree that it's going to be low scoring. I actually think Texas Tech wins, and I don't think it's going to be very close. I don't think it's going to be a super competitive game. I think the Ducks are super beat up still, and then if they do get reinforcements somehow come tomorrow, people decide that they're coming off. They're going to be rusty. And I really think that, quite honestly, the Texas Tech defense is going to suffocate them. I saw Dante Moore make a couple mistakes against JMU and honestly, the layups that he had really that made that game what it was. I don't think they're going to be there. What I saw in the second half of that game makes me think that if Texas Tech comes in and I see the team that played Utah, that played BYU twice, I feel like they're going to win pretty convincingly.
Well, it's a clean sweep for me because I'm going Red Raiders on the money line as well. Jack, you mentioned Morton, 11-0 when he plays games. The one loss, he was not active. Great run defense. When you stop the run, good things happen, right? I think Texas Tech maybe a little bit underrated.
We're throwing tortillas, baby. Don't worry.
It may be a little bit of the Big 12 underrating because they're coming out of that conference. Oregon, obviously, in the Big 10.
And again, like, not that either of these teams ended up doing anything crazy after, but, like, Arizona State hung with Texas down. I mean, like, there was like that crazy, I think it was a targeting call maybe on 4th down that kind of flipped that into field goal range to give Texas the chance to win before it ended up going to overtime anyways. Like, they're elite teams can hang no matter what conference.
Yeah, I mean, that Arizona State game too. I mean, I know because I'm deep in the weeds on our receivers and all these prospects. Like Jordan Tyson had an amazing game versus, again, a Texas Tech team missing Blake Morton. Like, it took a Herculean effort for them to win that game. So when they've been fully healthy, I think they've easily been a top 5 team in the country. Like, without a doubt. I haven't seen the same from Oregon, and they're not healthy. So that's how I feel the way I feel.
All right. They just have a really good front seven, man. Like I do think, like, for as good as Dante Moore is, like, I think you always want the best player in the game.
Jacob Rodriguez, game-sealing pick.
He might score a touchdown.
Maybe like a Captain Jack Sawyer type of.
They genuinely
might
like give him the ball. Like, he might.
And
like,
honestly,
like a heavy set. Like,
I'm gonna make a statement right now. If he does do that, if Rodriguez does that shit, I'm going to go into Fernando Mendoza's house. I'm going to break open his trophy case. I'm going to take the Heisman Trophy. I'm going to run it out to Lubach.
All right, we move on. The 4 o'clock game, the second game on New Year's Day.
In Texas.
Number 9, Crimson Tide. They take on the number 1 undefeated Indiana Hoosiers, led by, of course, Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza. Indiana's a heavy 7.5-point favorite in this game. Alabama on the money line would be plus 210. So if you think Kalen DeBoer and company can get this one done, some good money to be won on FanDuel Sportsbook. Plus 210 Alabama money line. Jack, I'll start with you again. You got the Crimson Tide or you got the Indiana Hoosiers?
He's about to say something outlandish.
I might turn to the dark side. I shit on Alabama getting in the playoffs. They didn't overly move me against Oklahoma. Like, I think that was a lot of self-inflicted things. Like, that game was well in control until John Mateer threw that pick 6. But, like, Alabama's shown up recently, man. Like, that's the one thing that's given them is outside of a conference championship game that they totally blew. Like, they just... I mean, you can't even say they had a strong second half of the year, man. But, like, I don't know. But Kalen DeBoer is 18-3 in top 25 matchups. Kurt Cignetti's 3-2. Like, I don't know. Like... There's a little bit of pedigree, and it's sometimes hard for me to go against pedigree. Like, wow, can Indiana, the shittiest Power 5 program of the last 70 years, can they really go out, beat Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship, then go slay the Dragon and beat Bama too? I don't know, but I mean, ultimately, I do think Indiana's going to win this game, but I think the road's going to meet up against Indiana pretty soon.
Oh, okay. I thought he was about to do the unspeakable and pick Bama because he hates Mendoza so much. Definitely give me Indiana. Sneaky cover.
I like
though.
Bama spread, though.
I think a slow first half for the time off for Indiana. A sneaky cover.
Where's that game at?
I don't know, to be honest with
you.
Oh,
it's the Rose Bowl.
I'm also rolling with Indiana. I think smart money is to play Bama plus 7.5. And
I like that a lot.
And the under, which might be part of our parlay later.
Slow first half for the Hoosiers.
Indiana just simply doesn't allow teams to score points. That's how they win. Fernando Mendoza, I'm assuming, will play better than he did against Ohio State. But I do. Here's the thing: is Kalen DeBoer going to outcoach Kurt Cignetti? Kalen DeBoer's been in that moment. Kurt Cignetti hasn't been in this moment. Indiana hasn't been in this moment. Alabama has time and time again. I'm rolling with Indiana to win. I think they're the better team. I think they're the better defense. I think they have the better quarterback. So I'm rolling with Indiana, but I do think Alabama covers this one.
DeBoer didn't go natty on Alabama, Washington?
Then? He went to the Netty and lost.
Oh, yeah.
All right, lost to Michigan. All right, then our last one on New Year's Day. Ole Miss, number 6, takes on number 3, the Georgia Bulldogs. It's a rematch of a close game in the regular season. Ole Miss was winning that one for a while. Georgia, like they did all season, came back, had a great second half, and won that game. Georgia's a 6.5-point favorite in this one. Ole Miss on the money line, plus 190, so if you think they can get it done without their head coach at plus 190, there's the money for you.
Yeah. I'm going to alt spread the shit out of the dogs in this one. I mean, you look at that game when they had Lane Kiffin. I understand like Ole Miss Ole Miss was winning most of the game until Georgia goes on that 17-0 run in the fourth quarter early in the regular season. That game reminds me so much more of when you go down 10-0 to your little brother in Madden, and then you're like, oh shit, like we got to play. Like I just threw a bad pick. Like that's what happened. Georgia woke up and they beat the shit out of a football team that's not as good as them. That's a football team who now lost their head coach. Hey, I understand they beat Tulane or whoever the hell it was
That's
last
not
week.
I understand. That's a nothing burger extended bye week with a scrimmage.
Georgia is going to beat the ever-living shit out of this team.
I mean, I agree.
Off the tracks.
It's nothing to hold your weight on.
Hashtag
because
skull
they looked
fuck.
good against Tulane, but boy, did they look good against Tulane, right? Like Trinidad played tremendous, rallying around a coach. But I'm with you. I'm on the Dogs. Kirby Smart really only gets out-coached by Alabama.
Double
to be
digits.
honest
Double
with you.
digits.
I do I like
cover.
Georgia. I like Georgia to cover the spread. I kind of feel like we're leading to a Georgia-Ohio State semifinal.
Yeah,
which is the game everyone wants to see.
So here's
Yeah.
what I don't like. We are agreeing on every single game to win.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna go all.
And you
the
know the
way.
game is going to be wrong? Because
Wait, did we sweep on every?
Every
Well, here's the
single
thing.
game.
You know,
I don't know.
Do
We
you want me to
agreed
change my
on
pick
every,
then? I'll change your pick for you then.
We agreed on every.
I will
first
change your
round
pick for you
game.
then.
Yeah.
I will change your pick for you then because I almost said it. You knew I was going to say it, and then I didn't say it. You guys talked me out of it. I will take Alabama and Kalen DeBoer.
Okay.
I'll switch you on that.
There we go. It is unlucky for us to all agree on
That's
everything.
the-
I think it's possible. That, like I know we're saying it's like,
No,
like
I
don't
think
it's as
chalk is
crazy as you
super
think.
possible. We said it at the end of the season that there was 4 teams and that Notre Dame would have made it interesting, but they left them out. We said
You're
that
right.
at the beginning.
You're
of
right.
the, of the,
We did say we said Ohio State. We can see winning it. Georgia. We can see Indiana, and then outside of that, we just really didn't buy it. Outside of Notre Dame, who was playing maybe the best football in the country, and they didn't get invited to the dance. They got left without a date.
we said
Yeah,
we
fuck.
sat there and said it that it wasn't like not a good year for the. We said the first round was going to be a snooze fest. It was, and that's what it was. So I think
all people out there who were like, oh, like, but did you see Ohio State against Tennessee in the first round last year? Like, there's a difference of Ohio State kicking the shit out of a 10-2 SEC team and just like having the St. Ignatius JV football team play Ole Miss. Like, there's a big difference.
and it was just more interesting last year because Ohio State was a top. Were they number 1 when they lost? Or were they not?
Who?
Well, a top 2 team all year, and then you lose the rivalry.
Well, even
game.
last year was cool too because like all four of the
There were a
favorites in
lot
this
of
round
teams,
lost. Like
yeah.
all 4 of the home teams lost in the
Ohio
quarterfinals.
State was like 2 or 3. They lose. Oregon had been number 1 all year. Penn State had been a top team all year. They go to the championship. Like, there was a lot more teams that we took seriously last year. Like I think
And
Ohio
even,
State
like,
came in as a 7th seed.
the way that the group of 5 will ever get treated seriously, even if they don't deserve it, is they need to have like an Ashton Genty type player out there where it's like everyone in the country knows who this kid is.
Then
on
no
this,
one
like,
bought
okay
that
school.
either. Who did they play?
Penn State, and they got cracked.
Yeah, like the Arizona State game was a good game.
No, it was.
They played Texas.
Texas,
That
yeah.
was a
They-
good game.
They really should have won that one.
And that was a great matchup. So that was a team you believed in.
Dude, the
'cause you
worst
saw
one
the-
was
you
Penn
saw the
State
talent.
SMU. That was like the worst football game I've watched. I remember that Jennings kid threw like 5
Indiana
interceptions.
Notre Dame was a little nasty last year. It
That game was a blowout too.
it
Just
was a
Indiana
little-
scored 10 points in the last minute.
Yeah,
Like it was a
little nasty.
25
I
point
don't
game the whole
remember it
game.
being a good one.
Let's
The last
do-
team to beat Indiana.
Let's do one bowl that isn't a New Year's.
I'm sitting out of
Six
all other
bowl.
bowl games. I won't
The
participate.
Citrus Bowl, that's between Michigan and Texas. Obviously, Michigan has this dark cloud around him, everything going on with Sharon Moore. Texas feels snubbed. They didn't make the playoffs even though they had 3 losses. Alabama gets in with 3 losses. They had a win against A&M. You could have made an argument for them if you wanted to. Texas comes in this one -6.5.
I honestly don't give a shit. That's what I like. I think.
Can we talk about how I picked USC to cover and they flat out lost? By the
Oh,
way,
I mean, after what Lincoln Riley
That's
came
outrageous,
out, after
bro.
what Lincoln Riley came out and said like a little bitch about Notre Dame 2 days ago, that was -2 billion that they were going to lose to TCU. -2 billion.
All right.
Give me Texas though. I mean, no way Michigan pulls through with all this stuff going on. No shot.
I agree. I will roll Texas to cover this one -6.5 and be Citrus Bowl champions. All right, we got to talk a little bit about the Browns, but first I got to tell everybody about Garage Beer.
Please
Garage
do.
Beer comes in just 2 flavors: classic light lager as well as that classic lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want beer to taste, and that is beer flavored beer. So scan the QR code now. Go get their website to visit or drink Garage Beer, or excuse me, visit drinkgaragebeer.com to find local retailers who sell Garage Beer near you. Again, that is drinkgaragebeer.com. All right, guys, we got a report this morning, courtesy of Jeremy Fowler from ESPN. He says Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel would be a candidate for the Cleveland Browns job if both teams make a change. My first thought when I saw this was I don't expect the Dolphins to fire Mike McDaniel. He kind of saved his job this back half of the season. They actually rattled off of a couple of wins. Been here in staff in Cleveland before. Obviously, we know how that went. I don't love it. I certainly would not have him probably even as a top 5 candidate.
It's just weird because like even the wording of the report, like about McDaniel in Miami, like whenever you have like the still has some support in the building, like what does that mean? Because like Ryan, I was in the same boat as you. Like I saw the Dolphins. I mean, a couple weeks before the Browns game, I saw them in Buffalo get their shit rocked by the Bill. Like, it was just so ugly. Thinking like, wow, are they going to fire him on a Thursday night? Like the Dolphins fans were yelling, "Fire Mike McDaniel!" You know, like to then get to the point where you come back, like Tua's been shit. You still win games. Like now you're playing Quinn Ewers. Like I thought he was safe too, but then it comes out like some in the building. I don't know, dude. Like, but is he white? Because like Ryan and Rob, I guess. Like whenever I think of like a coaching change, like or even like you're changing our leadership in any job, really. Like, I always think, like, you kind of, like, you buck the trend and you go back in the opposite direction. Like, we had, like, the hotshot, offensive-minded guy. Like, I think you either go, like, oh, Dan Campbell, football guy, or you go, like, just, like, the mad scientist defensive mind. Like, I don't think you run, but you usually don't run back like a new offensive genius back-to-back, especially one who is a retread and hasn't worked.
Yeah, I think the last thing we need is another guy who's going to get in the interviews and give those type of just, like, woe is me, no energy, just not really saying much type things. Like, definitely the last thing we need in Cleveland. But as far as just like with all the stuff moving, I think there's so many rumors as to coaches who might be fired saying that, oh, they're being linked here and here. Like it dropped around the time the show started that Kevin was linked to the New York job, the Giants job. I think it's all just going to come down to if one falls, then we'll see the game of musical chairs take place, and then someone will be left, and then a couple of guys will see, oh, well, I'm jumping ship. Maybe you see a mutual part ways. Because say you are Kevin Stefanski. You sit where you are now. You won the game. It was a statement win. Haslam say it's not enough. You're still gone. You guys do XYZ in Cincinnati. You're somewhere in a range probably between the 5th and 7th pick. The New York Giants are saying if you leave that job right now, we'll come take you. We have a quarterback. We have a star young wide receiver. We've got one of the deepest pass rushes in the league with a bunch of young talent that we've stacked up the last couple of years and a top 5 pick. Why would you not go do it?
Yeah, they got their left tackle too, right? And they have Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, they got a much better situation.
Agree. I have no interest in Mike McDaniel. Maybe as OC, you could talk me into it. Brown's best win this season was blowing out Mike McDaniel. I don't really want that.
Yeah,
in the rain.
Yeah, I don't know. I especially think like
no one wants McDaniel. I don't
like,
think like it sounds cool. He would be I'd love it as an OC. Right. I'd take it as that, but that's not what he's coming here to do.
I just think too like Ryan, you definitely
and that's Jimmy not getting out of his. He's back to people he's had already. We got to go. We're looking for new ground, and we're doing that thing where we're always coming back to the old stuff. It has to be like
total new blood. Like that's the one thing. Like when you go through this like terrible 2.5 years of Browns football, where at times I think we could all argue like whether it's front office coaching above them, Jimmy, it seems like people don't care. The last thing you can do is bring in another emotionless coach. Like I like that Kevin's emotionless, but like when you're emotionless and you're losing, it can easily be perceived as not caring at the same time. And like you can't just like go off of that when everyone's pissed off and just wants to feel something. Like it's a blue collar city, you know? Like you just can't fucking do that again.
Well, Rob, thank you for the update. Also from Jeremy Fowler, you mentioned Giants. He says Giants would be an ideal fit for Kevin Stefanski. He also says that the Browns and Raiders have done, quote unquote, preliminary research for potential head coach changes.
R.I.P. Pete Carroll. R.I.P.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Stefanski.
I don't think that's that crazy news, though, right?
I think he might seriously just walk out of the door. I think it might come down to a thing where they say, you can't. It might. Let me not even say it's not enough. He might just be choosing between two teams and say, I'd rather the grass might be greener. Well, he really might just say that.
Blame him.
He possibly might.
It's a bigger market, but really, and I didn't really apply to football. I would say you have diehard Browns fans here just as people are diehard in New York. So
but you could easily argue they're a year or two ahead of us in their rebuild.
I would argue 100% the Giants are in a much better position. Right. You spent the last 2 drafts. You got your 2 premium positions in quarterback and edge. You have another top 5 receiver.
Isn't their front 7 great, too?
It's amazing. They got a lot of guys.
You got a better O-line than the Cleveland Browns. You might go ahead and pair Malik Neighbors with a Jordan Tyson. You imagine that offense?
Or could they, do they need a safety? Could they get Caleb Downs or something?
They got options. That's the thing. If you go there, you got options. And if he likes Dart, you got everything you've ever wanted. And then it's all just up to you to make it shake. Show improvement. The fact that they're in the top 3 team, you get the team in that 7+ win range next year, and then you're probably a made man out there in New York until things start to fall off. But that's up to him and what he wants to do. I just don't see McDaniel. And of course, like, say he comes here and he has the year where Tua was lighting it up and it was that first year. But we don't have those people here at this exact moment. Like, that would mean everything hit in the draft. Whatever we do at quarterback works out completely. But if McDaniel comes here and it's the same, more of the same, like everyone's gonna he'll be on the shortest leash ever. No one wants to hear that same song and dance again. So that's why I've been saying, like, if we're gonna go OC, it better be someone who's never been in the organization. It better be someone who's at least a little expressive. Or you go the Flores route. Or I've heard some
emotion,
about.
though.
I'm saying you want emotion.
No, I know. I'm great. Like, yeah, like you need to go get that kind of a guy.
I've heard a lot of the Schwartz smoke. I've been hearing about it. I heard someone even say. I think I heard a mention that Myles Garrett might be endorsing it slightly. Jim Schwartz hired a head coach.
Was the Lions his only head coaching job?
Don't quote me though. That's very alleged. But I've heard a little smoke on that.
Do we know? Was the Lions his only head coaching gig?
I think so.
Okay. I'm not positive. Have to.
He's getting up there.
I was gonna say he can't be that young either.
No, I mean he's not young. He was part of that Lions comeback against the Browns with Matthew Stafford, and that was like 2000.
Say that's the only way you could retain him, though. Do you give him?
No, I think no.
Because the last thing we need is the defense all of a sudden fall off.
If it's like,
then this team is absolutely just deplorable.
If it's like close and like you're like Jim Schwartz or this other guy and they're like neck and neck, maybe even like the other guy a tiny bit more, then I can go for it. Like Ty goes to the runner at first base, but like if there's someone who you like clearly head and shoulders think is a better head coaching candidate, I think you rip that guy. And then like I understand you might take a hit defensively, but like,
or you might not.
You can replace a D coordinator easier than you can replace a head coach. I think.
Questions on questions.
All right, I should have gave you guys time
Chicken or the egg?
to think about this, but I want to do any predictions for 2026. It doesn't even have to be sports related. It doesn't have to be Cleveland related. Any predictions for the year 2026? I mean, I'll start. I had this thought. What if, and would you guys do this? I don't necessarily know if this happens, what it would mean for Tommy Rees, but you bring back Callahan. You offer his son a job as well in some capacity, whether it's OC or something. Granted, that's why I said I don't know what happens to Tommy Rees. But you bring back both Callahans to try and fix whatever this offensive line is.
I mean, I think it's a very likely scenario. I think anytime like, because I mean, the NFL is like a weird business where like I can't speak to the overall history of father-son relationships in the NFL and staying in buildings. But because of working a big play, I happen to know that Blake Williams stayed along in a couple of spots after Greg Williams left. So like, there are times when family members will stay within an organization for a season, even if another member of their family is gone. So like, is it a tiny bit shocking based off of going with what I know that Callahan left with his son? Like, in a way, that would make sense that they tried to get back together again, like have a rendezvous, right?
Yeah,
like a Callahan OC.
It's like Tommy Boy, get the Callahans back together.
To keep it in the Cleveland spectrum, as basic as it'll be. But I'll even upgrade it a little bit. I was gonna say the core four breaks up, but I say two of the people will be gone in 2026.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Not just one.
Straight.
Two of them are going to be gone.
All right,
in 2026.
Straight no chaser. The Guardians do not win 82 games this year.
So they missed the playoffs.
Unless you can escape the AL Central at 79 and 83.
There it is. We went all three teams too. Bang.
Hey, you know what though? Hey, I'll say it. It's been a long time since I believe 2015, 2016 that the Monsters were able to bring home the Calder Cup. They made a couple of deep playoff runs in a row. They went to the Calder Cup championship last year. Fellas, I predict we're going to be rocking our fucking towels in June, deep in Rocket Arena.
I would slide to a Calder Cup
#, black and blue hockey.
How much are those ticks going for? Like $20? I'm sliding.
You ever had a $5 footlong?
Yeah, like I'm spinning.
Oh, brother, that's like $12 now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like 12 to $14.
That's why I went with 20. You know,
but
that's a solid seat though. 20 isn't Loudville. It's a cool seat.
No free ads, but the 1, 2, 3 deal at the Monsters games. Are you aware of that, guys?
No, I'm not.
It's $1 hot dog, $2 pop or like soda, $3 beer. And like it's the only night that they open up like so usually like they curtain off the upper bowl at Monsters games. They open it. It's like a fucking like monster truck rally. Like that like people from all walks of life building us elbow to elbow. Like you'd think the Cavs had the fucking Warriors in town during the Stephen Curry era. Like it is like
that 1, 2,
it is
3.
legit. All for the Manitoba Moose to come to town.
2026 New Year's resolution: attend a Monsters game.
Yeah, let's go. Should we be season?
Can we lock that in as our group as a show resolution?
I want to do that.
I'm very with that.
I would also, if the Gladiators ever come back, I suggest we get season tickets.
I'm all for it, man.
I think it'd be
Arena
dope.
super random, like super.
You ever
super
seen the YouTube
random.
video of like their 28-point comeback in 5 minutes?
I was just about to say I was there.
Dude, that is the greatest. My friend Jimmy Shadon will die by this. Greatest moment in Cleveland sports history.
This dude kicked a field goal from like the other side of the thing, and the uprights are like this big, bro. The dude's like talking trash to me and my dad, like the corner, like because his that you could talk to him. Like the ball would bounce over to us and we could bat it away like mid-game. Dude's lining up to kick. He's like, man, ain't no way, bro. He's like, fuck no, he ain't going in. Dude just bangs it down the middle, and this dude's just like laying down like his life just ended.
I have two stories off of that very quickly. Please don't kill me. You need to watch the YouTube video of that comeback. Actually, I'm gonna make you walk down to the office to watch the video of this comeback.
You might see
because I think the Hail Mary goes like off the glass at the end, which I believe you're allowed to do in the Arena Football League. The announcer, like when I say I've never seen a broadcaster at any level lose their shit like this, like you would have thought like the Cleveland Browns won the Super Bowl. Like it is the coolest thing ever.
And they got
and then like that
stomped in the arena.
Do you know who R.J. Hamilton is?
No.
Or Hampton, maybe?
I know R.J. Hampton.
The basketball
player? The kid that went to Georgia State and hit the buzzer beater, and his dad, like, fell out of the chair.
R.J. Hunter.
R.J. Hunter. I knew it was R.J. something. I was sitting courtside at a G League game, and he was in the corner, and me and all my friends were, like, right there, and we all yelled, off, at the same time as he, like, ripped a three, and he drained it and just turned around and was just like, off what? And just started screaming at us. It was, like, the scariest moment of my whole entire life. Shout out to the Greensboro Swarm.
We hope 2026 is full of good blessings. We hope 2026 is full of good sports betting blessings. We got to unveil our FanDuel parlay of the day, and we'll head you out on here. But before we do that, I got to tell everybody about FanDuel. You know how fast NFL game days move. One big play and everything changes. That's why live betting on FanDuel is a game changer. With FanDuel, you can bet in real time while the game unfolds. Score just flipped. Jump on a new spread or live money line. That wide receiver is heating up. Be the next touchdown scorer or total yards. Think that drive stalls in the red zone. Take a live field goal prop or fade the total. Live player props, team totals, drive results, updated spreads, next play markets. It's all there. It's fast, it's fun, and with FanDuel, your live bets move as quickly as the game does. So whether you're riding momentum or fading the hype, FanDuel puts you right in the middle of every moment. Visit FanDuel.com/bigplay to download the app and bet the NFL live all season long. Must be 21 plus, present in select states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. All right, guys. Are you ready, Jack? You know what to do. We've been in this moment before.
Is this the last one of the year?
So this will be our last 2025.
And you know what they say, Ryan?
What do they say?
It's a what have you done for me lately kind of league. So if we can end the 2025 campaign on a win, that's, hey, Rob, you played sports your whole year. I mean, you played college basketball. You always ask, one, to have a chance to play in the last game of the year, and two, to have a chance to win the last game of the year. And that's what we got right here.
All right, Jack, take it away.
We're going all college football this weekend, folks. We're starting out the Cotton Bowl tonight, heading all the way down to Dallas. Everything is bigger in Texas, including the first-round spreads. This ain't Texas, so don't hold them. Carson Beck, you're going down. Ohio State minus 9.5 in this one in the Cotton Bowl. And then, guys, we're heading out to, I don't even know what bowl. This game could be played in Alaska for all I know, Ryan. But it doesn't matter.
I actually think this is the Orange Bowl.
Oh, is this the Orange Bowl? Party in the city with the heat is on all night on the beach till the break of dawn. We're going to Miami, Rob, and we're taking Texas Tech money line. Ryan picked it first. Hashtag Sharps. We know that Oregon offense and their lack of weapons can't keep up with our Red Raider defense. We're taking Texas Tech money line. And last but not least, we got two count 'em first-round quarterbacks who aren't worth a grain of salt,
and
they're
Rose
facing
Bowl.
off. So we're taking the under in the Bust Bowl. Ohio State minus 9.5, Texas Tech money line. Who can throw less interceptions, Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza? Under 47.5. Watch this be like the
Indiana
the Baker.
Watch
this be like the Deshaun Lamar Jackson game where they both had 800 yards now. Anyways, Ohio State spread, Texas Tech money line under 47.5. Let's do it, folks. End the year on a strong note. Eat your pork. Eat your black-eyed peas, I believe you said.
Black-eyed peas, green beans.
Green beans.
And 12 grapes, as Hannah Williford said.
12
Well, you heard it here
greens.
first.
Let's do it.
I like that we have a spread, we have a straight money line pick, and we have an under. I think that's a good omen.
Isn't it? Going across the board, folks.
Well, we hope everybody has a wonderful and safe holiday. Whatever you do today, enjoy it.
Say your
Be
line,
safe.
Superman.
What?
See you next year.
And we'll see you next year on The Big Factor. We'll be back on Friday. Same people, same time. Until then, enjoy the ball drop. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Go Bucks, and we'll see you then.
Burn.